everybody. Welcome. Happy Monday. Sorry we're a few minutes late. We like to get on here because we are friends and we don't really get to talk all that often. So sometimes we have a little chat session at the beginning. Sorry we don't include everyone, but again, this is our little group.
and hopefully I'm here.
Yes, you are here. We're super happy that Storm she was here, I think, first before,
Yeah, I know, but I just don't know how long it'll last. So I'm like,
Storm was like trying to log on since 1 o'clock this afternoon.
One waiting.
Yeah. She just been
It's
sitting in
3:04, Storm.
Yeah. As soon as I say I'm going to take over, suddenly she's like, no, I'm just
computer has no problems.
No problems at all. It's like, thank God. All right.
Well, what I did, one of the things that I did is I took that software that I like to use to make those one videos where I'm in the corner.
Yes.
Or whatever. I took it off of my computer because I thought, well, maybe it's not, making it run right. Maybe it's making it too slow. So I'm like, I just have to go back to trying to do it the other way where I have everything on my phone. And I'm like, my poor little phone don't have enough space.
I know. That's the problem, right? I that was my old computer because I was using I think it's Filmora is the name of the software, whatever, that I used to use to edit videos. And it's so high powered that I think it just kind of like killed my laptop. The new one that I'm using, the Clipchamp, it's much better.
Okay. I need to get like an external drive or something, I guess, maybe to plug into it to where I can keep some of that stuff on it. And then
I was saying we have a couple of not dead laptops. They still work, but they're not like great. And I want to say to Garrett, like, can we find out how much it would be to ship one of these to Storm because we don't need them. And she can have a crap one to use for editing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I can figure out a way to do it, I will, without it getting damaged in the mail.
my little, I call him little cousin, but I mean, I think he's like in his early 20s now, but he has a lot of issues. Like, he's the one that has the heart problem right now, or they think he might have, and he's had a lot of problems. He's like a little slower, but he did take classes to be a computer, work on computers, and I'm like, I just don't know if I trust him with my baby. It's the only thing I have, because he's like, do you have any broken computers? Because he was wanting to try to work on them and then like resell them or whatever. Like, no, I just have my one that's broken.
So what is everybody reading?
Well, I finished a book. So I finished The Scandal by John Grisham. So
well done.
One more book in that series, and then I will be finished. So that is kind of on my list for the end of the year to at least get that finished, maybe.
Nice.
Storm.
So I'm still working on Burlingame. I have it over here. I'm a little farther. I'm almost there.
Done. You'll get it done by the end of the month.
Yeah.
That'll be your month-long read.
I have faith. I'm on 296 of 344.
You can do it. You can do it.
And then, of course, I didn't think this through very well whenever I asked my friend to pick a book for me. And I can't find this on audio. And this is the one that she picked for me.
Oh, no. Please pick again.
I know, it's like, can we have a redo? So I got to work on this one. It's, it's middle grade, so it should read a little bit faster, and like the font is a little bit
I was
bigger.
going to say it looks thick, but the font is probably...
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. I'm like, am I stuck? Because I was stuck over on this.
That's okay. We can still hear you.
Compared to this one that's like got little bitty.
Right?
So hoping I can get, and I'm going to see if I can get a Kindle version, and then see I can have A read to me every now and then or something too.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, you can do that.
Or whatever.
There you go. I don't know if I'm going to be reading anything. Might be catching up on stuff that just got back today. However, if I do, I'm going to be reading Beach Reads by Susan Mallory. Because it's due back at the library on Friday, so I have to get it done.
If you want to spend the $1.99, it's on sale on Kindle.
On what? On Kindle?
It's on sale on Kindle. It came up as a daily deal today. I just bought it.
Oh, nice.
It was either $1.99 or $2.99. I don't know how far you're through it, and if you want to rush it.
Not at all. I'm zero.
So there you go. If you want to, you know what I mean? Just anyone chat either who wants to read the new Susan Mallory. It's on sale right now on Kindle and Kobo.
I love Susan Mallory.
Me too. She's fantastic.
I think I've read a couple of her books.
Mm-hmm.
What are you
Her
reading?
Fool's Gold series is still one of my favorites.
Which one?
Fool's Gold.
Yes.
I think that's the one that I've read a book. I think I was bad and read a book that I didn't know it was a series at the time. And so it was like number
Storm.
8
She's
or
been
9.
like,
What?
8 or 9. Now you have to go back and read.
right?
Yeah, you know, because that's what
You're
and see,
obligated.
I've never went back because I was
these are excuses.
I was like, oh, I read that one in the middle, and so I'm like, I still haven't went back because I kept telling myself I need to go back to number 1.
So you don't even know how it all began. Now,
Yeah.
and I feel like
What is
You should
it?
stop
And
it.
by now, I don't even remember the book that I read. So
So when she gets to it, she'll be like, I feel like I've read this before.
Right.
I am reading Masking for Trouble. It's the second book in the Costume Shop series by Diane Valier. I started the last of the book retreat on audio by
Nice.
Ellery Adams. It's the Loft one, Murder in the Book Loft or something
Mhm.
like that. And then I am listening to the second book in a romance series. It's the Cloverleaf Farms series by Melanie Harlow. I can't
Oh, all
remember
right.
what it's called. Irresistible, undeniable, one of those kind of words. I know those are 2 books in the series. I just don't remember what number. I'm reading number 2, whatever number 2 is. So that is what I have going on. Oh, I do want to say really quick one thing. I'm sorry. Sunday is the second cheese shop discussion with Karina, and she
Okay.
will be with us on Sunday.
Very good.
So in the chat, if you are reading the cheese shop and you want to read number 2 for the discussion, we'll be discussing it this Sunday and Karina will be joining us to answer questions and chat with us about the book.
Fabulous.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. And I am going to be reading my bit in my classic for tonight, Too Good to Be True. Francine Pascal, my number 11. I love reading the classics. I am very big on it. I'm a classics reader.
Those are
And-
classics in my world. They really
They
were.
are, right? Like that, I'd prefer that over Jane Austen, honestly. Just as much drama. And
That's
I'm about halfway through. Revenge on the Ranch by Carla Cassidy. Hold your ear, Storm. This is the second book in the series. No, I have not read book number 1.
Uh-oh.
Dun, dun,
A
dun.
friend that I
well-
worked with at the office, she was grabbing these from, she's so funny. I love when new people discover category romance or Harlequin romances. I got these at the library sale. They were just on the cart. They were 50 cents. She goes, I can read these in a few days on the bus. They're delightful. Have you tried them? I'm familiar.
Yeah, just a little. Heard of it.
you're like, have I tried them?
Yeah, I really think I should. So anyway, she's been passing them on to me, and bless her heart, she still gets them, and she's putting them in a box because we're not at the same office anymore. So eventually, when I do make it to head office, she's going to give me like a paper box full of these books.
That's cool. Though.
She's a delight. I
That's
love
really
it.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
anyway,
You're
I'm
like,
reading
"Damn,
this
I'm
one.
an ambassador for them.
Right. I need to be. But then I realized today, I love print books, but I prefer reading ebook because I read faster on an ebook because of print issues with my eyeballs. And I actually own this as well on Kobo.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm reading it on my Kobo. But anyway, that's what I'm reading now.
That's very
It's
sweet of her.
I own book. We all do it. We own books in multiple formats and all that good stuff. So let's see what everybody is doing in the comments. Michelle. Good evening, everyone. I'm currently reading Injustice for All by J.A. Jance and What Have You Done by Sherry LaPena. Had a pot pie from KFC for dinner. Delicious.
Nice.
Catherine says, hey, everyone, currently cooking dinner. Stuffing chicken casserole. I think I make something similar to that. Sounds delicious. I will be starting Flock, the Ravenhood trilogy by Kate Stewart tonight. Is that the one you just talked about, Tiffany?
It is. That's why I went.
Oh.
Catherine. I don't even know what to say. Are you on Discord in the Killing Time of Cozy's Discord, Catherine? If you are, message me before you go into book 3. And we can. I'm not saying that you might not love it. You might love all of it. And I just.
She'll tell you what page number to start on so that you can.
Right.
No comment.
And buckle up, Buttercup, for book number 2. Book 2 is good. I'm just saying, buckle up, Buttercup, because it's intense and sad and intense and
It's a wild ride.
Yeah. But book 3, go. Okay, continue, Sarah, because
Yes, ma'am.
You could go on.
Rating, so that,
We could be here all night. Esther says, I just started book 5 of the Theodore Bones series, The Fugitive by John Grisham. Just the right size to read before reading Joanna Bradley. Wonderful.
Nice.
Yep, that's coming up on the 20th.
Kim says, hey, y'all. Finished reading Mystery at Seagrave Hall by Claire Chase today. Probably going to listen to the Braves game. Excellent. Crochet Mima. Going to be reading the last book in the Gaslight series, number 27.
Ooh.
Storm will know.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Storm will know that you read them out of order, or no?
Oh, it's the last one.
She'll know the title for a while.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just. Have you read all 27 of them? You can. You just
No.
not. You don't have to tell me.
You did not?
I've not read them all yet.
No, Storm's holding off because she doesn't want them to end.
I will have it finished
I
by
do
the
that
end of
with
the
series.
year. I'll have it
guilty
finished
of
by
that.
the end of the year, but
I'm guilty of that, Storm. There's the Jane Austen series by Laura
don't
Levine.
need to
I haven't read the last one because
I'm buddy reading the last of it with Esther Jane. We're gonna hold each other's hands while we're
Aww. Aww. Mary Jo says, hello, everyone. I am reading One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune, hoping to finish this week. That is wonderful. Mary Jo says, dinner was steak, baked, sweet potato, and broccoli. Yum.
sounds
nice.
good.
And Mary Jo says to Kim, yay for finishing your book. Fantastic.
Oh, Kim finished something? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Kim.
I missed that. Oh, yeah, she did say finished Mystery at Seagrave Hall. Yay!
Oh, I don't know. what I'm
Apologies,
sorry,
Kim. Apologies. We missed that. It's the heat.
It's the heat.
Kim says, thank you to Mary Jo. Nadine, hi, I'll be starting The Summer Guests by Mary Alice Monroe. I decided to copy Chloe Always Booked and read books from my various lists that have summer in the title. I'm hoping to read one a week. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Toya says, reading The Amazing Miss Polfax number 2.
Nice.
Excellent, excellent. Pat, hello everyone. I'm reading Death by Chowda by Donna Wallow Clancy. I'm 66% in and loving it. Wonderful. And of course, don't forget to hit the thumbs. Thank you. Kim says, may read some more of Who's Your Fave Rave? Teen Idols as You Knew Them and as They Really Were.
Ooh.
Okay.
that could
Now
be
that actually is
interesting.
intriguing.
Right? Well, it goes back to the conversation we were kind of having just before we came on. Like, you think of some celebrity a certain way, but guaranteed that is not how that person is in real life.
Yeah.
Esther says to Crochet Mina, love that series and can't wait to get to the last 2. It was a great series. Yes. And Jenny says, hi, everyone. I'm reading The Midwife by Cece Littine. I just needed a good comfort read tonight. Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Kim says, I love the Gaslight series.
Yeah.
Ambi says, hello. Welcome, Ambi. Esther says to Kim, me too. And Kristen's Corner, hey, friends. Michelle to Esther, I'm excited for Joanna Bradley?
Brady.
God, I can't read. I'm so glad to get my eyes checked in 2 days. Good Lord Almighty. They're going to say, you poor thing, how have you been getting through life?
Here is your new glasses.
Yeah, and they're like this thick.
That
Just
will be
wear
me
these
the next
readers
time
until
I
we get
go.
your.
Right.
There you go. Kim says, this book is all about the old 16 magazines. I had their posters all over my walls. I still have my first Tiger Beat magazine from September
wow.
of 1974.
My wall when I was a teen was covered with mostly Patrick Swayze.
Okay.
A few others, but mostly. I think I had like 70 something. I counted one time. I had like 70 something pictures from like the really big movie posters to little bitty ones that I cut out.
That's delightful.
Slightly obsessed, I guess.
All right. The funny thing is, it's like, as you guys know, I'm living at my mother's house, but this room is actually my high school bedroom, right? of course, completely like, you see all these people like, it looks exactly the same. No, this was cleaned out. But on the closet doors, you can still see the tape from some of the. It's like the only remnants from that time. Because for me, it was like Backstreet Boys and whatever for our generation or whatever. Esther says to Michelle, me too. I hope it's as good as Beaumont. Jill says, hello, Jill. Cajun to Kim, I loved 16 and Tiger Beat. My cousin and I used to walk to the drugstore on the square and get the new ones the day they came out. Yep.
Yes.
Emily says, hi, everyone. I'm working on dinner, smoothie, and a chicken wrap before working on The Secret History by Sanderson. I'm on the struggle bus with this one. Oh, that's right. Especially because it's a shorter book. Annie says, hi, all. I'm reading The Kitchen Front by Jennifer Ryan.
Yay. Have you guys read that?
No.
Oh, it's I really liked it. It was it's very slice of life, but it's like there's a contest for a radio show during World War II for like the women.
Like I've heard somebody
the women talk about how to use like the rations and stuff like that for like to win a radio spot. I really liked it. I kind of like the slice of life type of stuff, but I enjoyed it. It reminded me of like Fannie Flagg, if you're a Fannie Flagg fan, or like Miss Julia or Dearest Dorothy, any of those kind of slice of life books, you probably would like something like that. I enjoyed it.
I'd heard about it before. I thought when I seen the cover, I was like, yeah, I've seen somebody talk about it. It sounded kind of familiar.
I was confused because there's a romance author named Jennifer Ryan. And I'm like,
oh, there is a cowboy.
And I'm like, hold on, I need to wait. She writes cowboy romances. I need to check this out.
Yeah, true. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, because when I brought up Fantastic, it gave 2 different authors with that name. But that's cool, though. I'll have to look. It looks like I looked at her other books. They look pretty good too, if you like historical. Kim says to Cajun, was so blessed that my parents encouraged my obsession. And Esther says to Annie, I loved that book. Danielle said, finished The Experiment by Rebecca Steed. It's a middle grade art, comes out September 9th. Well done. Ambi says, I love those teen magazines back in the day. I would always get another one at the grocery store or Kmart. Yes.
I would always ask my dad if I could have one because Mom would say no.
Absolutely. That's how it goes.
Like, I used to like to play, the arcade games, You don't go ask Mom. You go ask Dad for the quarters because Mom's gonna say you don't need to play that.
100%. Absolutely.
And then if I did ask her, and then I went and asked Dad, and he's like, "Yeah, okay," and she goes,
"Exactly."
It's funny because my brother would say, "You go ask Mom," and I would say, "You go ask Dad." You know what I mean? Like everybody had their
absolutely, absolutely. Jill says, I'm having part of an omelet. This is a Greek omelet with home fries. Yum.
Good.
Nice.
That sounds good.
Cajun says, then we go to the restaurant next door for lunch and play the Osmond and DeFranco songs on the jukebox. One day it took our money and didn't play.
Oh.
I love that seems to be a core memory for you.
Right? Like something you hold on to.
Because that's when you're wanting to hit the side of it to make it play.
My first thought was the day the music died, but let's. Nina, hi everyone. Tonight I'm reading Be Careful What You Wish For by Linda Riley. Excellent.
What was it? Was it Fonzie that did that to the jukebox or the machine or did something? He would hit it on the side of the.
And it would just, yeah. Kim says this book is on Kindle Unlimited. Very interesting read. Excellent. Nice. And Angel says, hi, everyone. I'm reading Secret Princess for the Warrior by Michelle Stiles. Oh, that's a historical. It's got to be historical.
I was like, it sounds like a Harlequin, but not like the.
It sounds like it's a presents, but because it's for the warrior, I'm thinking it's
Vikings or something.
Right? Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm on chapter 2, and I hope to get some more chapters read tonight. Fantastic. Oh, Cajun continues. So the waitress paid for them to play. That was nice of her. I'm sure they were sick of these songs.
That was really nice of her, though.
Yep, I'm fine, Ambi. Everything is good. Thank you. And she says to Cajun, that was nice of her. And Jill says, I'll be reading A Victim at Valentine's by Ellie Alexander. Lisa, Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Bad storms rolling through now, so I'll catch the replay from last night and tonight tomorrow. Have good sprints, everyone. Stay
Stay
safe.
safe, Lisa.
Yep, take care of yourself. Kim says, I love the Osmond and DeFranco family. Today is Alan Osmond's birthday.
I really quick, my growing up, my best friend, her grandparents lived in Chicago. We would go to Chicago a lot. We would go to the Chicago Theater. We went and saw Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Donny Osmond played the lead. She became obsessed with Donny Osmond. We were like 12. She became obsessed with him. I was like, that's the same person my mother liked. You know, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So fast forward, the same year, it's still like, when I say fast forward, I mean like to the next week, her parents bought us backstage passes. So we got to meet Donny Osmond. And so we have a picture. We put it in the paper for her 40th birthday party because all of us turned 40 in the same year. We all did something for each other. Well, we put this on the paper. She's standing next to Donny Osmond. All the rest of us are like at this old guy like this. And she's like, it's the funniest thing ever. Oh my God. It's the best picture ever.
I
ever
love
taken. Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Oh,
I love you,
the things
Diana.
the things we did.
That's funny.
Okay, be careful.
You think about your crushes now back then, and you're like, oh, really? Wow. Cajun says, be safe to Lisa. And Mary Jo says to Danielle, yeah, I'm finishing your book. Angela, Willow Tree Creates. I love the series. To Anita, I just finished book 2.
Oh, nice. Oh, the
Take care,
cheese.
Lisa.
Yes, grilled cheese.
And Pat says here in, not sure, maybe she's further down. Cajun says to Ambi, it really was. I think she used her tip money. I always remembered because it was so sweet. Oh, that is nice. Kristen says, there they are. Yep, when we finally made an appearance. Angela says, hi, everyone. I'm listening to Dead, White, and Blue by Annie McEwen tonight. 60% in.
Yay.
And Anita says, I hope everyone is staying cool.
Trying.
Best I can. Sonia messaged me today, and she said something. She said, it's 95 degrees here. I said, well, with the humidity right now, it's 114. She goes, how? Did the equator move? How are you hotter than I am?
Yeah.
I'm like, just our geography up here, I guess. And
It's like when I'm colder than my friend who's in West Virginia, because I'm like, how? I'm down farther south. You're up
right?
there.
Right? Doesn't make any sense. Amy says, I'll be reading Back on Blossom Street by Debbie Maycomer, number 4 in the Blossom Street series. Wonderful. It's 7:30. Okay. Mary Jo says to Lisa, hope the storms aren't too bad. Stay safe. And she says, yeah, that was sweet to Cajun. So we're going to stop here. We'll read until the top of the hour. Sound good, everybody?
Yep. Sounds good.
Excellent. Happy reading, everybody.
Happy reading.
So how did everybody do? Oh, I'm like, that's got to be Kairu.
I was just thinking the same thing.
You see
All I
the,
heard was the growl, and I'm like, okay then.
can you see the ear?
Yes.
He likes to lay on top of the keyboard thinking that then I can't get to it.
Mm.
So that's his.
It was just funny for that to be like the first thing you hear, though,
Yeah.
whenever.
Welcome back, everybody.
Mhm.
How'd you guys do, Storm?
Oh,
Can you read it?
I edited my daily reading vlog that I've gotten so far,
Excellent.
and I am on page 8 of Fable Haven.
I got 18 pages into this and made dinner, which I'm going to eat now.
Nice.
Delicious.
What'd you
Enjoy
have?
it.
What you having?
It's going to sound fancier than it is. It
Oh.
is a mushroom pasta with a goat cheese sauce.
Well, la la la.
It sounds fancier than it is.
Does sound good.
It does sound good.
I got
yeah.
to 43% of Undeniable, which is the Cloverleaf Farms one that I was telling you about. It's a second chance romance. It's fine. It's part of the series. The series has overarching stuff because it's about the whole family. But I'm not really a huge second chance trope person. It's just not one of my favorites. But I like the series.
So basically, we know Tiffany doesn't like stuff that's already happened. She doesn't like cold cases. She doesn't like second chances. You had your chance the first time. Do it right.
See? You got it, sister.
And I got my reading done in Sweet Valley High.
Nice.
So yay. Let's see here. Angela says, hope there's no damage from the storm. Stay safe to Lisa. Yes. And Danielle says to Mary Jo, I will finish my book tonight. Fantastic.
Nice, Danielle.
Erica says, hello, lovelies. I'm picking up Dungeon Crawler Carl. Has anyone else read it? That totally sounds like a Tiffany.
Oh,
No, I haven't, but I will be buddy reading that with my friend Barb.
Okay, then.
I don't know if it'll be in August. I think it might be in August.
A Garb August read?
Well, yeah, could be because it's kind of like I think a little bit off of like Dungeons and Dragons or something. Like
Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense then.
something.
Yeah.
But well, my friend wanted to read it, and it was like I don't know, it was over $4 for to get like the Kindle, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying that for something I don't know if I want to read.
I agree with you.
Then I was looking on NetGalley, and since like some of the other books were coming out in that series, the first 3 were on there. Read now, and I went push.
Well
And
done.
I told
That
Barb,
sounds pretty good.
you can read it now.
Well done. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it does sound good.
Because she had it, but I didn't have it, and I didn't want to pay the money for it. Or it was on KU or something, and she has that, or it was something like that.
Well done. And
So we're gonna try it, and I'm gonna hope that I like it since I did read now the first 3.
right, yeah. Angela says, "Yay, Storm!" And Kristen says, "I'm hoping to finish The Scattered Bones by Nicole Sacrino, I guess. Wonderful." Mary Jo says, "Well, yay in advance to Danielle." And Emily says, "That's not long, Storm. You got this to finish your Berlin book."
Says the one that reads the giant books. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she's like, I can finish that, and It says, "Do you have to read the Blossom series in order?" I have not read the Blossom series. I will leave that up to anyone who has.
I've not read
it's been a long time since I've read it.
I don't think you have to, but you might want to for some relationship.
I was going to say, is it
information.
anything like Cedar Cove where like you get to know the characters through
Yeah.
the thing,
Yeah.
and it might be better to read it in order?
It'd be better, but you don't have to.
Exactly. I agree with what they're saying.
Mm-hmm. Storm always thinks it's best to read in order anyway.
But it does take place in the same town, so it's exactly like Cedar Cove where you're going to be introduced to characters each time, but then they'll give you updates, and if you don't know who they are, you might feel a little like
Right.
not
Yeah.
lost, but like you've missed something.
Yeah.
You'll be like, who are these people and why are they together? I didn't read about them.
Yeah.
You also don't want to ruin it for yourself, like where, oh, there was a relationship possibly in book 1, and then if you go to 4, they're married and she has a kid already or something like that. You don't want to.
Yeah, that's true. And the thing is, like, I always say about, like, oh, you don't need to read stuff in order, but I think it's more the fact that, like, let's say you're at, like, the library and you pick up a book and you don't realize it's part of a series and you read it. It's not like a Harry Potter where you're suddenly, oh, now I'm really messed up.
Right.
You know? You can always go back and start at the beginning, you know, but you're right. It's always more fun, I think, to read it in order because you get to meet everybody as you go, you know?
Yeah.
Jenny says quite a few Susan Mallory books are on sale right now for $1.99. Thank you.
Nice.
Cajun says, anyone heard from Tammy recently? I did message her the link to today's chat and just said that we were thinking about her, but I haven't heard anything.
I did the same thing yesterday, and she messaged me and said nice to be included, but you know, I can't make it, which I expected, but I didn't want
that's what I expected too, but I just wanted to put it out there.
She didn't, you know, say anything else.
Yeah, so our thoughts are with her. If anyone knows anything, please, and you can share. I mean, if you were told something in confidence, we don't want, you know what I mean? Like, don't break a confidence. We just want to know that she's okay.
Yeah.
And Emily says, what time will the chat?
I think it's the one for Karina Moss. What time will it be? Is it going to be?
What time will the chat be on Sunday? Is it the usual time, Tiffany, or?
Yes, at 4. Now she might not pop in right at 4.
Okay.
I need to confirm that with her, but we'll start at 4 like usual, and then she'll pop in at some point.
So it's like whenever she pops on, then you'll start talking.
Yeah, yep. I'll get a time from her.
And I have actually read that one, so yay.
Yeah.
I kept meaning to, but I never got around to it.
No.
James, you are being so loud.
I know we need to get him and Presley for a snore off or something like that.
Well, he's working on it. He's practicing.
He's practicing, yeah. Kim says, I've been running the same thing to Cajun. And Anita says, can't wait for the talk. Can't wait. What time? We already talked about that. Michelle says, oh, Lee, I'm so happy you're reading Beach Vibes. I had it from the library, but had to return it because 1 million people are on the wait list. Yes.
I was shocked that I got it. And there had been some lady that it was in the new releases, and she'd just been standing there hogging the whole section. Mm-hmm. Luckily, I was much taller than her and could just reach over her. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I got it. Was it? I was like, wow. I was surprised that it was there. So.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, Karina B, I asked because I have 2 virtual book clubs. Okay, so as Tiffany already said, we're not too sure of the time. She will confirm, and if you can confirm, you'll post it in the Discord, right?
Oh yeah, I will. But the regular, we will start the regular live at 4. Wonderful. I just don't know what segment what time
she'll pop in for. Fair enough. Pat says BJ Daniels Kindle books are on sale for $1.99. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Always fun.
That's a good sale, right?
Right? I'm with you on that one too, Stormy. Catherine says, I'm on the Discord. I'll message you, Tiffany. Thank you. The new one is coming out tomorrow for the other series.
Yes.
Excuse me, I've suddenly got hiccups. Paula says, hey, Sarah, Storm, Tiffany, Lee, and chat. On my last sprint, just popping in to bop the like button. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
I bopped the like button on you earlier, Paula, but I didn't say hi because I didn't stay right. But I was like, I'll go in and bop the like button.
Right. Cajun says, I kind of like how it's last even if I put off reading it. Main clam bake shocked me, so I stopped reading for a bit to absorb it, and then the afterward just made me sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catherine says, nice New England accent, Sarah. Thank you. Chowda. I always say if I didn't live here, if I could live in the U.S., it would be Boston. I'd be in New England in a heartbeat. I'm a New Englander born in Canada.
My coworker grew up in Boston, and I give her a hard time all the time because she'll be like, hey, get in that joie and get me something. I'm like, what? In the joie? I'm like, in the what? Or she says stapler that way too. I can't even remember how she says it, but it's not right. And I'm like, the what?
Park the car in Harvard Yard.
Yeah. That's exactly how she grew up in Boston. So it makes,
right.
She only moved to Florida as
Dad worked with somebody that was from up in New England somewhere. I don't remember where, but he's like, where's the bubbler at? And my dad's like, the what? He's like, the bubbler. And he's like, what the heck are you talking about? He goes, to a place to get a drink of water. He goes, the water fountain. It's over there. Like, what the heck's a bubbler?
Amy says, I'm back. Dad wanted me to check the mail. Oh, and look who's just back for this comment. Hey, Lee, did you finish the Magnolia Sisters?
I did, and I loved it. I already put the second book on my list.
Yay!
Michelle Major is fabulous.
That was my first one by her, and I loved it.
Really? Oh, you have her whole backlist to enjoy. Oh, I'm jealous in a way. She wrote a lot of category, just saying.
Really? Have you ever read any category? Because I heard it's good.
I've read one or two.
Okay.
There's a lady at work
just
that wants to
think it's
save a few for you. So
Right.
When people find new books and they're like, oh, like, have you read these cozy these mysteries with an amateur sleuth? They're really delightful, because it's delightful having someone else find something for the first time that they're just starting to enjoy. And you want to tell everybody about it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I appreciate that, right?
I'm not really.
You may or may not like.
Abby says, I was watering garden before I was on here. It's too hot out. I have a headache. Yes, it was Fonzie who hit the yes.
Next sprint I have to go outside and water the garden.
Mm.
I may come back in being like
Drenched.
Just so my car, ever since we got it, because I was, of course, parked in the driveway for 9 months and then whatever. Anyway, the thing that you change like where the vent is, like if it's like from your windshield to facing you or to on your feet or whatever it is, it was stuck on just the vent, like for the front window. And it's been so hot. So yesterday I was desperate. So I'm like parked at a light. I put the car in park and with both hands, I cranked on this. I'm like, it's either going to break or I'm going to fix it. One of two things is going to happen. And it popped right back over to facing front. I'm like, oh, thank
goodness.
It's like, either way, I'm going to die in here if it doesn't work.
Yeah, right?
I remember growing up, my brother used to use my grandfather's car, and he came back one time in the summer. He says, Grandpa, he goes, where's the air conditioner in your car? And Grandpa goes, roll down the windows. It was an old car.
Yeah, we were doing that for quite a while until my brother finally came down and fixed our air the other day and everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you know what? That was fun whenever I was a kid, but it's not fun no more.
Yeah,
no, it's not fun as an adult.
Because like my hair, it blowing in my eyes and all kinds. I'm like trying to get it, and I'm like, you're gonna have to roll your window up some more over there because I can't handle it.
Right, and it's just hot air that's blowing it. It's
hot air. Yeah.
No. Pat says I might call it an early night. I've had a migraine all day due to the heat. Yeah, I'm sorry, Pat. I hope you feel better.
Feel better, Pat.
Ambi says now I have Oreos and cherry Kool-Aid.
The snack of champions, right?
Hello. Keisha says my first concert ever was the Osmonds. That's awesome. Oh my god, that's cool. Emily says feel better soon, Pat. Yes. Kendra says I hope you feel better soon to Pat. Kim says I saw the Osmonds in concert in 75, 76. I remember which year. Fantastic. Keisha says hope you feel better to Pat. Emily says I got to see Donnie in Joseph. I sat in the 4th row. Nice.
At the Chicago Theater, we might have been there together. I went several times. Thanks. several times.
Screaming, right?
Oh my goodness, way too.
It's like watching Elvis movies with my aunt when I was little. She was a huge Elvis fan, and we watched them all the time.
I can't tell you the number of times I watched Dirty Dancing as a young child when it was completely probably inappropriate.
Well, I fell in love with Patrick Swayze at the age of 11.
So,
when I was watching it when it came out, and I'd come home from school and pop it in, come home. And that's like when you used to be able to record things, with the VHS. Yes. So I had it recorded. And I wore it out so much that my mom literally got me the 10th anniversary DVD.
Oh, nice!
Whenever that come out, because she's like, "Here, you need this or whatever." I got it. That's the one that I watched is the 10th anniversary.
That's delightful. I love it.
I feel like Dirty Dancing and Grease I've seen more times than any other movies ever.
Those are the only two that ever went back to the theater.
Well, and I think because I lived in such a small town with nothing. I mean, we still don't even have anything, a stoplight or anything like that where I grew up. And so it was slumber parties every single weekend, and that's no matter what changed, we always watched Dirty Dancing and Grease.
I didn't do a lot of slumber parties until I was more of a teenager or whatever and stuff. And mine ended up being horror movies.
Oh no.
I didn't watch horror movies until I was probably about 16 or 17 because I didn't like them whenever I was younger when my mom and them used to watch them all the time and I'd get scared. So I just didn't really watch them that much. I read the books, but I didn't watch the movies. And I went to one of my friend Janice's house and that's all she watched. And I was staying the night and we were like watching, all these scary movies, eating pizza and everything. Yep. And I'm like, oh. But then I got used to it. And so,
as a teenager, the only movie I remember watching over and over and over again, like I'm not kidding, we watched it every weekend for a year, and that was Mallrats. The one,
loved it.
You know what one I'm talking about.
Jay and Silent Bob, Jason Mewes.
There's something about that movie. It's an underrated classic. But
I'd be screaming right now, Storm. By the way, I'd be screaming right now. There's some large bug flying around in the room right now.
It's a wasp.
Oh, yeah.
She's very calm for a wasp.
Because I'm used to it.
I get it.
And then Garrett and I were looking at the movie theater to see what was playing, and I suddenly felt very old because our local theater is bringing Dogma back for the 25th anniversary. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how is that possible?
Kevin went to New Jersey one time and planned an entire vacation around Kevin Smith and the places that
the comic book store?
All of the places he filmed.
Yep. My brother went,
Mallrats,
I've seen them
all of those.
Yep.
All those Kevin Smith movies.
I don't think I've ever seen Mallrats.
It's a specific type of humor.
Yes. Because I don't know. Yeah, I'm really weird with the humor. Things.
Not for everybody.
Yeah.
Ambi says, I know, right? And Denise says, good evening. Hello, Denise.
Hello, Denise. Kevin stopped me. He wants to let you know that the picture behind where I film with the boat is from the diner in Chasing Amy.
Thank you.
Kevin. Goodbye.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I watched Chasing
I love Kevin's fun fact. That was great.
Right? We need you on every Monday now for Fun Fact Monday.
Good.
Where he just pops up the fact randomly.
Yeah, he just pops up with something.
He heard Kevin James and or Kevin Smith, not Kevin
Yes,
James.
yes. Yeah. Emily says, I get that with a friend in Miami. There are some days when we are hotter than she is. Yes, absolutely. Michelle says, I had too many celebrity crushes back in the day. Now I just have an unhealthy obsession with Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
I love Jeffrey D. Morgan. I saw that he's hosting a game show, and I told Kevy, we're going to have to watch that. He's like, you don't watch game shows. I'm like, and? I do
now.
I do now.
Is it bad that I have no clue who that is?
Oh my gosh.
Negan from Walking Dead.
Okay, that's why I would not know who that is.
Okay.
I've seen him on different things. I have never watched Walking Dead, but I've seen him on different things.
All right.
So, Michelle, I don't know if you, and if you know who he is, look him up and then look him up without his beard. Without his beard.
I know who that is. Okay.
Okay. But look at pictures of him without his beard. Without his beard, he looks like the brother from Everybody Loves Raymond.
He's also, who's the
guy?
guy?
You're right. He does look like
without his beard.
I go to show you, facial hair makes a big difference,
It
ladies.
makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference.
And especially if that's how you started watching them or anything
Precisely.
Like that. And
Everybody
then
says
save it off or something.
Yeah, then you're terrible. His celebrity twin is Javier Bardem.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I've seen that before. Yeah.
Javier Bardem. If you look him up or just look up Jeffrey Dean Morgan's like twin or look-alike and you'll see them both come up.
Yeah, they'll put side by side. Yeah.
It's like when
Disney's like, there's two of them.
Now
It's like
I
her
done lost
birthday.
his name.
Who?
The guy that plays Tom Selleck. That's it. Whenever he
Mhm.
like shaved his mustache off that one time, it was like, oh, put it back.
Exactly. Yeah, you're like, no.
Yeah, exactly. That's how Negan is without a beard. You don't want to.
Yeah.
I met my husband completely clean shaven. I still think he was cute. Then 5 years into our marriage, he decides to grow a goatee, and I'm like, "Excuse me, sir, where have you been for the last 5 years?"
Mhm.
Now he's not allowed to let it go.
But at least you know you thought he was cute without
Before,
it.
yeah,
The
yes,
disappointment would
Yeah.
be
He
if you
just
shaved
upped
it
the
all
ante,
out.
is what he did.
Yeah, true. Truly.
Um,
I'm about to get my wasp getter out and disappear for a minute if it doesn't. Like,
Get the tennis racket you were talking about. I was excited for you in that video, Storm. I'm like, come on, kill it.
yeah, because it's like over by my bed, so I'm like, oh,
Here's your opportunity. Do it now.
Amy says to Michelle, I could have wrote that comment. We have to figure out Jeffrey's is mom's, Jensen's my sister, and I got Jerry.
Yes, that's a son father TV duo. That's just like.
Amy said, you'll know if you've seen Supernatural, Dad, Dean, and Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Kim says, I posted the cover in currently reading on Discord. Wonderful.
Thanks, Kim.
And Esther says, oh, Lordy, I was reading 16 Magazine and Tiger Beat with the Beatles. I love it. Kim says, my daddy went on American Bandstand when it was in the Daily in Philadelphia. He was there for a little while when he was in the Navy, early 1960s. That's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, that's neat.
My mom wanted to be a go-go dancer on one of those things.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Amy says, I'm reading them Backstreet Boys and Instincts. Yeah, I thought about it after. I'm like, no, mine was not Backstreet Boys. It was New Kids.
New Kids on the Block. Yeah.
That's my age. Yeah. I'm like, you're not that young, sir. Keep trying. Amy says to Kim, that's cool. And she says to Ambi, I always thought so. Sassy Cajun reads, hello. Hello, everybody. I am reading Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I'll probably go bath soon. Very good. Nice. Angela says, that is so awesome to Kim. And she says, I just started the first book in the series over the weekend to Sassy. Oh, please spec. Just a quick as they came and they are gone. So I'm here and I'm going to get some reading in. Wonderful. Glad everything's
glad.
My favorite kind of storms, the one that's like there and
here and gone. Carmen says, hi, everyone. I'm reading The Black Friar by S.G. McLean. Wonderful. Emily says to Sassy, I read that one earlier this month. It's my favorite in the series so far. I need to do the tandem and read Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. Barbara says, good afternoon, friends. Reading my Friends and Chewing Gum. You got to be honest, I just woke up from a nap, and I did finish a cold, I know which one she's reading. I can't remember the title of it. Them people are crazy. Was your nap good, Barb? That's my big question.
Oh, she finished something. Okay, hold on.
I love a good. I laid down on Friday. Garrett and I were both, or Saturday, Garrett and I were both in the bedroom, and both of us just laid down. He's like, let's have a 20-minute lap. I'm pretty sure we woke up an hour and a half later. Me, him, and all three cats. We're all like. Mary Jo says 273 out of 370. Have a good night, everyone. I'll watch the rest later. You as well. And just says, have a good night to Mary Jo. And she says, so glad the storms moved on quickly. Yes. Brooklyn reads. Welcome, welcome. Hey, friends. Hope you're doing well. Sprinting myself soon and 20% into Twisted Kingdom by Rena Kent.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Barbara says, has anyone heard of the book called Before Dorothy? It's Auntie Em and Henry's story. Looks good. By Hazel Gaynor.
Oh, no.
I not read it.
I would be.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
No, I haven't heard of it, but I would be interested in that.
She says, I was further along in Dead, White, and Blue than I thought. I'm at 74%. Wonderful.
Yay.
And it's the same here. Got to 58%, 90%, 16 pages and a victim at Valentine's. Emily got 20 pages in. Well done. 2.5 pages from chapter 3. Great job, Angel. Catherine says, got distracted, but I got the rest of my chores done for tomorrow so I can relax.
Nice,
That's perfect. That's a great sprint. I'm looking at the time.
Productive.
I'm looking at the comments. I'm thinking we might just finish off the comments and call it a night. So I think we're all tired and hot, and I don't know about the rest of y'all, slightly in a mood today. I don't like the heat. Emily says, I've heard tons of good things about Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah.
It's a lit RPG fantasy.
Role-playing game.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, Storm. Like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. So I'm glad I got it like off of NetGalley. I didn't pay for it because like, but I hated to pay $4.99 and then I'd be like, this is stupid.
I used to read the Dragonlance books. Like they weren't role playing based, but it was like that whole like I love those. But then I grew out of them as I got. It's kind of funny, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Molly says, "Hey everyone, reading For Whom the Bell Tolls. Welcome, welcome."
Hi, Molly.
Liz, hi guys, hi Liz. And she says, "How's everyone dealing with this heat?" The answer is not well. I love a thing on my little side of my computer says the temperatures to drop on Wednesday. I'm like, we're not getting snow. Calm down.
I'm doing well because I have my little fan.
Esther says to Barbara, "I have heard of Before Dorothy and look forward to reading it." And Liz says, "I think I'm going to read a cozy mystery tonight." Excellent.
Yay.
And Liz says the heat is horrible, barely hanging in there with it. Yes, and to anyone who does not have air conditioning or anything like that, I am so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And Angel says, "Oh, and my book is a Harlequin historical, a Viking romance."
Oh,
That was right.
I didn't
Well
even know
done.
that Harlequin did Viking romances.
Yeah.
Oh yes, they're a big thing.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
the
know that.
historical romance ones, they're pretty big.
I finished one earlier this month. Can't remember the title of it now, but it was the author's first book. It was her debut work, and it takes place in Constantinople in like 800 and something. It was fabulous. It was so good. I really enjoyed it.
You always crack me up with the, how is it romantic whenever they didn't take baths, they didn't
I
do
just think about that all the time and go, ugh. You're going to do what to her, sir? I don't think so.
Can we go find the creek first?
Please, for the love of God. But I've now learned to just kind of like let it go.
Yeah, just go with the flow.
It's the same with Regency times. You know? It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Barb says, "Tiffany, do you like refried beans? Because they don't get them done right the first time either."
I do. They're my
and
favorite bean now.
Abby says, "I
My
just
dad
finished
loves
chapter 2.
refried beans.
Cat, hi Cat, welcome, howdy. I'm late because I've been doing chores around the house. Now I'm eating dinner, veggie chicken kebabs. I was listening to Chain Gang All Stars. I finished Lonesome Dove earlier today. Well done.
That was a
Great
celebration.
The month was over. too.
Well done.
I would do fireworks, but you can't see them with the background. So
What did you think of it, Kat? Did you like it? I'll have to try to think about it for next year, maybe.
You should start it in like May and then finish it in June.
Well, see, I was thinking January.
That works too. January, March, April, May, June. It's a 6-month read. I think that's perfectly appropriate.
Well, it's about what, 600 pages or something like that. So I can
That's
do
100
it.
pages a month. Absolutely reasonable. Break it down. That's like 10 pages a day, something. I don't know. Less than that. I can't math right now. Annie says, "I'm enjoying it too. Tiffany and Esther Jane got to 8%.
Nice.
Emily says, "I read book 2 as well. I just need to read the rest of them." And Kat says to Liz, "The heat is ugh." And today we had a thunderstorm. Electricity went out, kind of glitched, then went out, which caused the AC to go. The AC guy came and fixed it. Oh, thank
oh,
goodness.
thank goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing bad about storms right now, because if it knocks the electric out,
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we lost the power yesterday, and the second time it was out for like over a half an hour, I said to Garrett, I said, if this does not come back on soon, I'm going to have to leave and go to like the library or something, you know, like, because I know it's cool in there. He's like, "Oh yeah, the library." I'm like, well, you have air conditioning and books.
if I'm going to have to sit somewhere and wait, I might
I might as well enjoy myself.
Exactly. Exactly.
Cajun says to Kat, "Glad they got it fixed. Amazed when they were able to come so soon." Absolutely. Jill says, "Hello, everyone." Hello, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Says, "One of my hoopla has beach vibes available." Excuse me.
Oh,
Wow,
nice.
awesome.
Excellent.
Cajun says, "My best friend is from the Boston suburbs, and we still argue cart versus over buggy." Annie says, "She must say
She does.
Stamford, Tiffany. I
She
grew up
says
15 miles
Stamford.
from Boston. I got a lot of laughs in Arizona asking for the bubbler. Oh, that's adorable.
She does. She says, "Can I get the stapler?"
Stapler.
The what?
Stapler. The what with the who now?
Yeah.
Cat says, Cajun, grateful he could come out. Now we know to flip the breakers, leave off for 10 minutes so it can reset. Apparently the glitch caused a surge. Our AC is only 14 months old. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, goodness gracious. Well, I'm
Mhm.
glad it was fixed.
Cajun says to Cat, thanks, goodness it was something easy. Even though it should be under warranty now, it's not the time to need parts. Absolutely not. Cajun says, also good to know for any of us in case we need to try that. Yeah, exactly. I was at work in the office that I work in is tiny and old and run down. And the other morning, one of my coworkers was toasting something in the toaster oven. So I went in and put my bagel in the microwave for 15 seconds to warm it up. And I completely shut off the power to the whole building.
Okay, that's
So
funny.
Karen comes out and she goes, okay, so if this happens, this is what you need to do. I'm like, okay.
Flip the switch.
She's like, yeah, you can't run the microwave and the toaster oven or the toaster oven and the Keurig or, you know what I mean?
Yep.
One of those
Ahead
things.
of time.
Oh my God. And Liz says, I have no AC, so my car window down. It is.
Ooh,
You do what you got to do, my dear. I
That's
feel
right.
for you.
that's right.
And the car is the worst because it's so hot when you get into it.
Yeah.
And this is about 95 here today. Yep. Catherine says, Cajun, my mom, straight from Boston, we now live 15 miles north, has always called it a carriage. So now we all do in my family. And so Liz says to feel better to Pat. And so it is Anita. Kat says 100% to Cajun. Kim says, I sometimes roll my window down at night after rain. Love the smell. Yes, that's lovely. Feel better, Pat. Amby says, same here. And Emily says, at the Chicago Theater, my sister used to work for Actors Equity, the Stage Actors Union. Oh, that's cool.
Very nice. We might have been at the same production. I was at Minnie.
I was there a lot. Catherine says, to feel better to Pat. And Catherine, my friend is from Brocktown. Cool. Amby says, I saw Grease and Titanic in theaters.
Oh, nice.
I seen Titanic in
I
theater.
saw Titanic in theater.
And
wanna
you
know
know,
which one?
it was the one time that I think a 3-hour movie didn't feel like a 3-hour movie.
Mm.
You're right. You're right. Yes. And I've never seen that movie again.
Yeah, I have not
Once
either.
was enough
That
for
was
me.
my
Thank you
one
very much.
experience with it. I knew how it ended. You know,
I left the theater sobbing. I'm like,
it was-
never
it
again.
was- yeah,
No.
it's like that's enough of that.
We'll have no more of that.
I went and seen it with my mother, and we were. both
Yes, so
like,
did I. So did I. Kim says, I saw Grease in its first run at the theater. That's cool.
That's neat.
Kat says, Stormy, Janice sounds like my kind of friend with watching horror movies. Amby says, Sarah, you need to watch more movies. Nah, I'll stick to books. Thank you very much. I know these are classics, but I feel like at this point I may have just like missed the boat.
Mhm.
You know, like if you've never watched Labyrinth, you're not going to watch it as an adult because you're not going to.
Well, you can watch it as an adult, but you're going to be like,
What the hell is this?
why do people like this?
Right?
Or
Exactly.
whatever.
Exactly.
But
I
you
have my
watch it.
favorites. You know, we saw that
'Cause
there.
I like Labyrinth, but I don't know.
I
if
loved
I
it.
would watch it now and think
Right?
I
Exactly.
the same thing about it as I did whenever I was like 18
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
with David Bowie in it.
We saw that they are. I think this is an actual thing. They're making a Spaceballs 2.
Yes.
They are. They are.
And I'm not sure. And if they don't call it the search for more money, they're going to be very disappointed. But like,
They're
we're not
making-
talking about it. Like, John
I know.
Candy, you know, like.
I never watched all of the first one. So
Again,
Well,
there's some movies that are
Stand
core
alone.
for me.
They are also remaking Naked Gun.
With Leslie, with
that's got
Liam Neeson.
in it.
Liam Neeson is going to play Leslie
Yeah.
Nelson's part. Yeah.
Yeah, he's playing
I was like-
he's the son.
Yeah.
And
I'm like-
I'm like, oh my goodness, Liam, you really need money that much?
Well, Garrett made a point saying he's not a comedic actor.
No.
He's a very
Whoa,
serious actor.
he's
This is
definitely
gonna
not
be
known
his
as a
first
comedic actor.
You
I'm like,
and have you watched the trailer? 'Cause-
No.
Oh
No.
my gosh, I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, Garrett sent me the text, like sent me a screenshot of the movie poster, and all I saw was the top of it, and I didn't even see like the title of the movie. And I went, "Oh my god, that looks like Naked Gun!" And I went, "Oh crap, it's Naked."
Yep.
Yeah, and my dad's all in.
Of course, of course.
He likes those kinds of movies. I don't.
See, and it's weird. I liked watching those too, and those ones that, the ones that Charlie Sheen was in.
Major League.
Yeah, like that stuff. Like I don't know, but any of those, I like those stupid remake things or whatever. Those spoof movies. I always love the spoof movies. Robin Hood Men in Tights is one of my like top 5.
I like that one, but I haven't watched it in a long time, so I don't know if I'd still like it.
Well, that's
like,
the thing, right? Like, is it going to hold up to how it was? You know,
tight. So.
My brother and I quote that movie all the time. But yet Richard looks at me and goes, "But you've never seen The Princess Bride," because I was in love with Cary Elwes.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but he was Robin Hood. Catherine says to Cajun, "Sorry, I can't tag on my phone. My mom is from Jamaica Plain, and my dad not too far out in Revere." Oh, nice. Cajun says, "When I worked at the children's home, my girls loved Adventures in Babysitting." Yes. They would rent it every weekend. I think I knew the whole movie by heart at one point.
I read that one last year, the book, and then watched the movie, and it was quite fun.
I have my 4 favorite movies that I love.
Movie.
That is one of my favorites. And when it was back on Disney and they cut the swearing out, I'm like, what are you doing, Disney?
Oh, I love that movie. That's funny.
So good. Cajun says, "I loved Dogma, Alan Rickman, and the reveal." Yes.
I've never seen Dogma, but I love Alan Rickman.
Oh, it's so good. Pat says, "Thanks for all the well wishes, but it looks like a long summer for me. It's going to be in the 90s all week and the heat index in the hundreds." Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, it's kind of like that around here.
Michelle says, "I can't believe I used to watch Clerks 2 way more than should be admitted." That's cool. Kim says, "One of the YouTubers I watch does a lot of filming locations." Oh, that's cool. The motel, like walking distance from me, parts of X-Men was filmed there, along with there's a mansion in the next town over where was the X-Men mansion. It was also the backyard in Billy Madison.
Oh, that's
in the pool in the back. Yeah, it's an estate. You can actually tour it. And Garrett and I thought briefly about actually having our ceremony there, because you can rent it out for weddings.
Oh.
But it was way beyond our budget. Like way beyond our budget. Kim says, "Oh yeah," and I just love knowing like where stuff was filmed, and you know, it's interesting. You're like, "Oh yeah." Catherine says, "He took me to Revere for the clam chowder."
I've been watching all this stuff about Jaws and everything, and I'm like, okay, people, I don't need to be reminded day after day after day how old I'm going to be.
Right?
Me and Jaws were the same age. It's like, really?
Oh, it is the 50th anniversary, isn't it?
Yeah, because I read Jaws actually for a prompt one year of read a book that was in the same your birth year, and I read Jaws.
Oh, that's cool. I loved it.
The movie is a lot better than the book, but
yeah, usually the way it goes. Listen, love The Walking Dead. Nigel is such a hottie.
Mm-hmm.
Esther says, "Lee, glad you liked it. I have never read her, and I picked it for book club, and I liked it, and so did book club. Fantastic.
That's awesome. I'm glad. Yeah, it was really good. I'm so glad you mentioned it."
Liz says, "A wasp is an a-hole with wings."
It is, and I try to talk to him, and I'm saying, "Listen, you stay on that side, and you're fine. But when you start getting close to me like this, then I'm gonna have to get the thing out. It's gonna be over."
Those fly swatters will always remind me of my grandmother. All summer, she used to just walk around with one in her hand, and she'd be going for flies at the cottage. Or if one of us kids got out of order, she would just, you know.
I was about to say that's what
I'll be in the living room and I'll hear a whap, and I'm like, "Dad's after flies."
I had a relative, I won't say which one, but I had a relative that was like a ninja with fly swatters. Like she could take aim and hit you across the room like a gosh darn ninja star. You're like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like the back of your head. You're like,
where did you come from?
It was She was lethal with the fly swatter.
Pat says, I just looked up Beach Vibes by Susan Mallory on my Kindle. It's $2.99. Yeah. Barb says, Matthew Broderick from the 80s, Lady Hawk. Watched that at least 40 times. I liked him in Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like that. And you know what? I watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off last year for like, I think it was Old School April or one of those or something. And I was like, this is kind of boring. I hadn't seen it in so long.
Legit.
I was like, why did I watched it constantly whenever I was younger.
Right?
All the time. And I'm like, I think that was enough. I don't need to watch it again.
I swear I watched it every weekend for so long because my ex, when I'd go to his house on Saturdays, he'd be playing video games and I'd be watching TV. And it was like one of those stations where they like play old movies, like, you know, and it just happened to always be on. It's like what I wanted to watch, right?
Well, again, we had it on VHS because we recorded it. We had a lot of those.
So did we. Liz says, NKOTB. Yes, ma'am. Who was your favorite? Joey. Not sure why.
Joey was my favorite too.
To Cajun, the best. Also, they have one of the best donut shops ever, Cane's.
I wasn't a New Kids on the Block person, so I don't even know what their names are.
I liked Donnie back then, but Joey as time progressed because I was like the bad boy, even though he really wasn't a bad boy, but you know.
Right? They always have the bad boy.
Donnie's the one that's on Blue Bloods, right?
Yes. Donnie's on Blue Bloods, yes.
Because I like him on there. I just never, like, you know.
Yes.
I had a smaller cousin at the time, like, because when they were popular and stuff, that we absolutely loved New Kids on the Block, and I just, like, I don't get it.
I would have been 13 when the Step by Step album came out because that's the concert I went to, was that concert. So
me too. That was my first concert ever.
That was my first concert ever too. Yeah.
The boy band that I liked was Menudo.
Oh my god, my sister loved Menudo. Yep. Like unhealthy obsession with Menudo.
Because I think they used to be on
didn't know
Saturday
forever that was Ricky Martin's start. Like,
yeah.
She told me later, she's like, you know, Ricky Martin was in Menudo. I'm like, no, he wasn't. She's like, yeah, he was. He was just, you know, 13.
He was just really young, and
yeah. Oh my god, an unhealthy obsession.
Because I think that was like a group or whatever. It's like you aged out of it, and then it's like once you got to a certain age.
Oh, then they get new people. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Okay. So don't like anybody because they're eventually going to go.
Exactly.
Gotcha. I follow. And Barb's rubbing it in that it's still cold, 75 here, wearing my comfy, you know. Mm-hmm.
Barb.
And Ambi says, "Oh, I love storms. I want them here for a good long time, as long as they don't.
You may have them,
and nobody gets hurt."
Yeah.
Cajun, Catherine says Cajun. Actually, I was wrong. That's Lynn's, but they've expanded to more locations at this point. Excellent. And Cajun says to Catherine, he swears donuts in general are better up there. Now I need donuts, Cajun.
We may have splurged and had a little Bavarian cream filled like donut thing because Walmart had the day old ones on sale for $1.40. There was 2.
Lovely.
I was like, that is dessert for tonight.
Right. Emily says that Chicago, our meteorologists were funny and posted the chance of snow for the area. That would be lovely.
That's cruel.
Right? Yeah. Kat says, I loved Lonesome Dove, 5 stars.
There you go. I'll have to give it a try. Everybody likes
Next year, January 1st, I'm going to be messaging you. Have you started Lonesome Dove? Carmen says, yay, Kat, Lonesome Dove is amazing.
I'll hold it up and it'll have these tabs in it. And it's like, this is this month. This is next month.
Exactly. And Anita says, thank you, ladies, for the sprints. Have a good night and a good week. Be safe and stay cool. You as well. Anita. And night to Anita. And Abby says, just wondering who would like to hear more about the cult. You were telling us about that the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Liz says, good night, guys. You too, Liz. Have a great night. Kat says, also, if you have AC issues like running no cool air, check the unit outside to make sure ants did not get into it, causing contact tracks. Oh, really?
Oh, there you go.
Excellent. So that's what happened to us a couple years after we moved in. So we always check that first. Oh, wonderful idea. saying church dating was a sin. Women had to wait until a man came to her dad and says something. Tell me your
That's
daughter's
just
born for me.
old-fashioned stuff there.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah. Yeah, that's every Regency romance I've ever read. Pat says, going to tell you all good night. Happy reading and take care of you as well, Pat.
Bye, Pat.
Emily says, I watched Home Alone for the first time as an adult and did not like it at all. I couldn't get past, how can you not notice that your kid is with you when you left the house?
Yes, like, did you not count?
Well, they did, but I think like people kept, well, there was a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I could
they
forgive
did
the
count.
first one.
Yeah.
It's the second one that I had the
I
issue
agree, Sarah. I agree.
Yeah.
The second one is just bad parenting. I'm sorry. It says, and the dad would say, let me pray and I'll get back to you. That actually very much sounds like what my friend Monica's going through because she's from like Indian family and they're Catholic. And her mom's like trying to find her a husband. Emily says, got to the airport? ? And Kim says, I love Leslie Nielsen. Airplane is hilarious. Carmen says, have you guys ever seen Napoleon Dynamite? I have not seen that one.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
I've
yes,
never seen
I
that
have.
either.
It's very slapstick.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Catherine, the movie boat. And me. Bye.
My
I'm not a movie person.
comedy is Bill Murray, more or less.
Oh, I thought she was saying overboard. I'm sorry.
No. Like the boat is going
Missed
and
the
I'm
boat.
waving. I missed the boat.
It's the boat.
I missed
Okay,
the boat.
I totally
And-
get it now.
But
I
no,
thought
but you know what? There
she was
surprisingly there are a lot of movies but I again like books. If I like it, I like it.
I like Bill Murray, like in Stripes, that kind of
Mhm.
comedy.
I liked him in Groundhog's Day.
See, I've never seen that.
I love Don't Drive Angry.
I think maybe for next year's Storm for Zombie-a-thon, you should watch Zombieland if you've never seen it.
Oh
Yeah, I was going to try to do that
Sure.
because I know it's supposed
That's
to
a
be
good
funny
idea.
and stuff, but I was like, and Shaun of the Dead, I know a lot of people.
That's another one, but Bill Murray's in Zombieland. That's why I said that one. Yeah.
says, and if he approves, start courting. It's just chaperone dating only, but with his parents or the girls present. Yeah, no, so that's like the Duggars or whoever they were, right? The parents had to go on all the dates with them or something. I
It's
think
just like really old fashioned, like
that's what it sounds like to
and-
me. Yeah. Cage says Pat keeps changing her picture, which I love seeing them all, but I keep thinking we have so many new people. And Esther says, Sarah, our library is a relief place with the water and Gatorade and AC. Oh, they give water and snacks. It's delightful. Jill says the hundreds is how it's supposed to be here tomorrow and humid. Yeah, it's it's the humidity.
Yeah.
Now people
We
you
were,
can
we
walk
were
Labyrinth.
91 and felt like 100 today.
I was 114. You just need pharmaceuticals. That's how a lot of movies should be watched, to be honest. Kim says, he meets up with Biff from Back to the Future and he goes to California. He is funny. Carmen says, well, Stormy, if it makes you feel any better, I could have been your babysitter.
Well, that's okay because see, I've always had older friends and stuff, so we just fit in. So, and I think it just comes from like I used to go with my grandma to like the nursing homes and stuff because her mom was there.
Yep.
And so I played checkers with the old people there, and I've just always been like where most of my friends were always older than me, except for like some of my high school friends. And like you guys are like probably the closest in age that I have as friends. Yeah, like I mean, I go like to the coffee club or whatever, and they're all like 70 or 80.
Yep. No, absolutely. I understand that. Most of my friends at work are older than me, just because
Everybody always told me that I should work, like one of those things where they go around to like the old people places or whatever.
A nursing homes.
Yeah, and talk to people because I'd be able to talk about the things that they like because that's what I like.
Honestly, when I was out of work at one point, I looked into doing like a friend, like elderly friend, like where you go shopping with them or for them, and you visit with them. And I think that's a lovely idea.
Yeah, we had a friend.
Because like I liked like 30s
Perfect
and
for that.
40s and 50s music and things like that. That's like my kind of things. I like to watch those kind of movies, and they're like, you should just go. You can,
They would love that.
That
Yeah.
would be awesome. Yeah.
To volunteer and to go over even once a week or something like that. I think that's a lovely idea.
hmm
Catherine said, so much is filmed in Canada. So cool. That's because it's cheap.
hmm
Hmm.
Jill says, when we got word that the transformer complex needs to be replaced per our town, I went out and got a couple of battery operated fans. It has yet to be replaced. It was supposed to be last week.
Oh, fingers crossed for you. That's terrible.
I'm hoping they wait until fall. Cameron in Ferris Bueller reminds me of one of my brothers. That's awesome.
Oh,
Cajun says to Jill, smart to get the fans. Hopefully they will wait until it cools off and it's not a safety issue. Absolutely.
have you guys ever looked at? Have you guys ever looked at like the myths about certain movies?
Mm-mm.
Like
oh, like the in the 3 Man and a Baby, they're supposed
I
to
was
be
just thinking that one.
or
Person
that,
behind the
or
curtain,
like supposedly like Grease. They were saying that like maybe John Travolta's character died at the beginning at the
Yes,
beach,
yes.
that the whole thing is like a
A dream.
dream or whatever. And Ferris Bueller, they say that maybe that was all a dream because Cameron might have done something to himself in a depression state.
Yes.
Look up like myths of movie. I think people
It
just make
makes you
it up.
stop
I
and
don't think
think.
it's like actually.
Have
I
you
don't
ever
know
watched
that
those
there's any
ones about the
like that.
Disney movies?
There's
Oh yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Because they're
look
always
up,
like, I was however old whenever
Today
I
years
realized
old
that,
when
that this
Yeah.
one from this movie was in this movie over here and everything and stuff. And they're like,
yeah,
Yep.
the myths of movies. Like,
and
some of
I'm
them
like,
are
y'all have
so
nothing better to do, or because I would never make those connections watching those
Legit.
movies.
Legit. Kate says, I like Cameron so much better than Ferris.
I did like Cameron. Yeah, he was cool.
And Michelle says, Lee, I like Donnie too. I saw them in concert at Kings Island.
Nice.
Aw.
Carmen says, I feel old. Abby says, I wasn't born until 1987. I would have been eight. in
7.
87.
That's what I was like. I seen that in the comments, and I was like, yeah, speak of the devil.
Thinking about
The quickest of
you.
quick hello, friends. Dad will be in the hospital for a few more weeks at the least. Thank you all for your prayers for my parents. Love you all. Bye. Best wishes, Tammy. We are all thinking about you and your dad and the whole rest of your family.
Everybody was asking about her. We were wondering about her, and we must have just conjured
We
her.
conjured her up. Yes. Yes. Catherine says a few of the guys at NKOTB were friends with my aunt pre-fame. They were too young to be friends with my mom. And they would go
Wow.
hang out in Jamaica Plain where the jail was and sneak cigarettes.
See, like the New Kids on the Block and Backstreet Boys and all those were kind of like in the same like era, and I get confused on who was where. Like
New
I
Kids
know
was
some of the
first.
names. I know some of the names of like the people.
Oh, okay.
I
But who
don't
was with what
know
group?
where. Yeah, I don't know where they belong.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Catherine says, and booze to the prisoners. I did also listen to a lot of Backstreet Boys and NSYNC just because it kind of filtered into my high school years. You know what I mean? So, and JC was always my favorite for NSYNC. I saw them in concert too. Catherine says, Joey is my cousin's godfather, and it was so weird realizing who he was after the fact as I got older. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Kevin
in Home. Oh, hold on. If Kevin in Home Alone was my kid, I'd leave him home alone too. I think that's a popular opinion.
Yeah. It's like there's a reason why he got left alone. I mean,
Right? Amy says, y'all have to watch Napoleon Dynamite. Cajun said, finished my book. Yay! Well done, Cajun. And Carmen says, yay, Cajun. Amy says, not a big Bill Murray fan. I love Groundhog Day. Kim says, I love Chevy Chase in Fetch.
yeah, I like Chevy Chase a little bit in certain.
Depends on, yeah, exactly.
Like Vacation. I like him in Vacation.
Yeah,
All the vacations, yes.
Yeah.
Never
That's,
seen
that's
any of
the
that
whole
one.
franchise.
I like him as Clark Griswold. Otherwise, no.
Yeah.
I'm not even
I don't
sure
know
if I've
I really
ever
like
seen
him
all
like that.
of the Christmas like that. I don't think
I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never watched one from start to finish.
Okay.
Yay, Cajun, for finishing your book. Yeah, basically the Durgers was my life, yeah. But I had only one sister. Michelle says, Woody Harrelson is hilarious in Zombieland.
Yes.
And I like Woody Harrelson too.
I really like it. It's a really funny movie. It's really funny.
I will have to watch it. Having cable TV.
I'm gonna have Kat holding me to this. I can just see next zombie. Remember, you were going.
Yeah, she will. Yes, she will.
Kat, you bug her about that. I will bug her about Lonesome Dove, and we will have her set for next year.
Yep. Get Melmac in here for Nora November, and your whole year is set.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Angela says, thanks for the update, Tammy. Continued thoughts and prayers, 100%.
Yes.
Abby says the same. I was best friends with my nanny and her friends. That's lovely. Yeah, Kim says most of the Duggar kids have gotten out of the religion. Oh, absolutely. Amy says, how to dress your skirts, my feet or ground, nothing sleeveless.
I mean, honestly, that sounds like a lot of my like holiness friends that I know. So
I was gonna say I had a couple of like Orthodox Jewish friends who same idea.
It's the same thing for most stricter religions.
I was gonna say, yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. Kat says, hopping off to finish my chores. Thanks for the sprints, ladies. Good night, friends. You too, Kat.
Bye.
Says to Kim, I totally understand. We have to. Ambi says, in Kyoto Abuse the 80s and NSYNC the 90s, early 2000s. Yep. And love Zombieland. All right, ladies. I know we did talk about this a bit last night, but Lee, you were not here. What do you? Sorry. And Storm wasn't here either. So Lee, you first, and then Storm.
Storm, you can go first. I have to look. I don't know anything.
Tomorrow, I'm going to have my first in my new series, and I will let you know now. It is called 2 on Tuesdays.
I'm so excited.
I show off 2 books because I was like, I don't want to do like 5 on Friday. That's too many. So I was like 2 on Tuesdays. I like that.
I like it. 2 on Tuesdays. I like it.
You're starting a new trend.
I like it.
I love it. Lee.
Tomorrow, I have my July TBR.
Yay! I still have to decide what mine is.
I haven't got mine all figured out yet.
Yeah. I mean, mine's just going to be like, I'm going to read this stuff probably.
She's just going to have to remember to throw in an old category romance instead of...
No. I've got the author picked. And the other, thank you, Storm, because you messaged me. So we're going with the one that you messaged me about for the secondary author, just so you're aware. But I do have that video coming out tomorrow. I really do need to film that. It might go later tomorrow night. I'm not going to have time right now. So, and Tiffany, you had a video come out yesterday.
Yes. And my new series like update for the first half of the year comes out later this week.
Fantastic. Yeah. And Catherine says, thank you, ladies, for wonderful sprints. Love spending time with y'all. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. You as well. No one went to a stricter church. Awesome. Everybody have a absolute great week. Thank you all for joining us, and stay cool out there. Don't anybody get sick, and we will see you all. Tiffany, 4 p.m. next Sunday, or this coming Sunday, excuse me. Karina Moss will be in when she's able to show up.
Yes.
Exactly.
And sprints on PK's channel throughout the week if you're looking for more sprints. So thanks, ladies. Have a great one, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye, everyone.